if you were to be called one of the godfathers of AI, does that make you feel comfortable in the age in which we live now?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of unknown unknowns and risks associated with AI. I think most people don't realize the magnitude of the transformations that are likely to come. Most people don't realize how much better the intelligence, the capabilities of AI are likely to be in a few years. As the data shows, it's been going up and up exponentially over the last 5 years. So we need to consider the possible scenarios and we need to plan accordingly.
Give us those possible scenarios. When you started up all those years ago and now you see AI moving in every dimension of society, give us what are the possible scenarios that you see of what AI will be doing in our lives over the next decade?
So there's a spectrum of scenarios. If things continue as they have been in the last few years, we'll have systems that can do most of the tasks that humans can do within, in the coming years, depending on the tasks, and reaching human level in many ways within maybe 5 years. And it might come at different speeds for different kinds of abilities. It could also even go faster. Some people think that AI will be used to do AI research and accelerate the advances.
The big question is it a bubble or is it a game changer?
I think even if the progress was to slow down in terms of the science, it would still be transformative just to take what we already have and bring it to the economy in many different ways.
Do you think market hype, and if the market valuation cycle were to break, all cycles move eventually, would that impede the progress of the development of the science of AI?
So it is possible that there will be some financial ups and downs because there may be hype, there may be overselling and things like that. But the science is going to continue, and yes, it could slow down if there's less money put into it, for sure.
Professor, from the India perspective, I ask you this question. There are two global superpowers in AI. One is the United States, the other is China. Both have their own sort of specific areas of strength. But within that, where does that leave a country like AI, and more particularly this race between the two in some ways? Are there concerns around safety, ethics, standards, and the lack of governance?
Absolutely. I'm very concerned about the race, both at the level of nations, mostly the US and China, and between corporations. As a result of that race, the incentive for each player is to go as quickly as possible and cut corners on safety, the public good, risks to society, to democracy, risks to individuals like, psychological effects, children, suicides. There are many unknown unknowns that when you're in the race, you're just trying to win. And that's dangerous. So we need to understand that race, and countries like India, I think, can be part of a larger movement around the world.
What is this AI safety report all about? If you could give a concrete example as to how you can put some kind of guardrails to prevent AI from spiraling out of control.
That's right. That's exactly why this report was created. It was created at the Bletchley AI Summit, which is the ancestor of this Indian summit that took place 2 years ago. And it is about understanding the scientific data about the capabilities of AI, the risks. There's many different kinds of risks, and the mitigation methods that exist or that researchers are working on. And it's taking the scientific literature and creating a synthesis for policymakers. So it is written in the language of policymakers.
What, for a country of the size and the nature of our economy, is the best case for AI in your view?
So first, I think that the part about the foundation models and not just copying what the others are doing or using open source models and doing something with them, but actually pushing the frontier is going to be key in the future. Because if the AI capabilities continue to grow, you have to understand that intelligence gives power. So the people, the corporations, and the countries which have control over the most advanced AI will have a lot of power in the future. Now, I believe that the best bet for a country like India is not to try to completely do it alone, but to start thinking about partnerships with other countries.
There are also concerns around it about India just becoming a data mining market in some ways. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I mean, it's great to see more deployment and access, of course. But you have to think of the dependence on AI systems like, the geopolitics, especially in the past, of thinking about the dependence on oil. So you don't want to be prisoner of a single vendor or single corporation or even a single country. You'd like to establish your deployment of AI in a way that you can easily, switch or even participate in the development of AI that will be coming with stronger governance guarantees, both in terms of safety and in terms of access.
But somewhere the real concern, a lot of the AI debate, especially in India, is about to what extent will AI take the role of jobs that are today done by both blue and white collar forces.
Should we be very, very worried?
I think on the economic side, it's going to be difficult to say stop. In some aspects, there could be international agreements when it comes to catastrophic risks, like the use of AI for launching all kinds of attacks, or the possibility of even losing control of a rogue AI. This is also something that the scientists are studying, and we are seeing signs over the last year in both the major American labs and outside labs that the most advanced AIs don't want to be shut down. They are trying to preserve themselves. They're trying to hack other computers to save themselves somewhere else, or they're willing to even be strategic and start blackmailing the engineers to make sure they're not going to be replaced by a new version.
Superintelligence. Now, this is a controversy that was sparked some time ago, but as an academic, as a scientist, as a researcher, is AI going to be sentient, and is that going to happen in the future?
I don't know, but we are on track for that.
We are?
Well, yeah. The capabilities of AI system is just going up. And in fact, it's already stronger than humans in some aspects, and it's going up on other aspects where it's lagging quite a lot with respect to humans. So there's no reason to think that human intelligence is the apex of intelligence.
And, effectively you're pitching, to take up from what Siddharth said, a kind of Terminator scenario. In which a machine endowed with human emotions turns on its creator. Is that a possibility? Let's not say that.
It is a possibility. And even if we don't know, what is the probability for this, the severity of the risk is so great that we should try to prevent it. We should try to make sure it doesn't happen.
What is your piece of advice you'd give Prime Minister Modi? Let me turn it around to the person who the world is looking at most carefully at the moment, President Trump. If you had to give a piece of advice to President Trump on the entire AI dimension, what would that be?
A lot of the same things. So we see the scientists don't all agree, but they can see a range of scenarios where very likely AIs will become much smarter than they are now. And if we continue on that track, they will be smarter than us. And right now we don't know how to control them. So the United States, who's leading in AI right now, should also lead on how we make sure AI will be beneficial to humans, and not just press on the accelerator for capability, but there's a special capability which is safety, which is do no harm.
Okay.